Howdy Blues. It's been a while. I say normally, if you are an old listener of the Not Bitter Just Better Everton podcast, you might remember I used to say Mr. Johnny 70 here as always, but it hasn't been always, has it? Let's face it. It's been a good while. There's been a lot of changes at Everton, but also in life. Thought it was time to get it back up and running. So I've built a new website, trying to get all the social media platforms back on the go. Gonna try and get going again. Got moved to the city centre, job in the city centre, working with a lot of media stuff. Got access to a lot of great facilities, so no reason not to. Just been a lazy get. But I'm recording this after I nearly changed my mind already. Recording this after watching a bit of a very disappointing defeat at home to Forest after a decent run of three draws against the bigger sides. And I think, in all honesty, a lot of people saw this coming to an extent. Forest up to second after beating us, one of the better sides in the league, and they showed it today. I won't go into a full review or anything. Just thoughts, trying to put the feelers back out there, podcast wise. Got some facilities to set up here, facilities to use in work. Um, just a little bit of an overview of stuff, really, though. One of the big things that coming out of the games, where we set our stall out in the past three games before today, and we really were we were on the back foot a lot of the way, defensive minded, letting them have a lot of the ball. Where today's possession, I think we had 62 or 64% of possession, and Forest hit us on the break, and um, they were the more threatening. And it just goes to show you we are shite with the ball. So I think there's a lot to be learned. It's just, have we got the manager in place um, going forward to take those lessons on board, and uh, grinding out results when it's all backs to the wall kind of thing, and having the odd chance here and there against bigger sides. But if we play the same way against the not so big sides, and Forest are, as I say, gone second, so they're not one of the not so big sides as such. But if we play that way against all teams, you know, it's not good to watch. The Wolves game 4-0 aside, where can you see goals coming from? To give Brozier a run out today from the start, and I don't think he's suffering the same fate as Calvert-Lewin, isn't he? He's up there on his own up top, um, dropping deep and then there's no one in the box when he's laying it off and put himself about a little bit. Um, Ultimately, I think we looked more threatening than when Calvert-Lewin came on with Brozier, and then when Beto came on after. But the game was gone by then. Their first goal was a great goal. I think you just have to hold your hands up there. I think the interplay, from Wood with a knockdown and then taking the back and the lob over Pickford. I don't think you can do a whole lot about them. Maybe cut the ball out from the start, but I think there wasn't too many murmurs about defensive mistakes there. Whereas the second goal was an absolute nightmare. Just so many of them weren't at the races today, who were in the past three games. So, and then it could have been more. We had a few half chances, a few decent efforts towards the end of the game, but um, yeah. You can't be too disappointed by today's result as such, because that's Forest's fifth in a row. But as a start of the season, the 24-25 season, last season at Goodison, and uh, the overall year, the calendar year, just it's what is it? It was something like couldn't even tell you how many wins it's been. I could have looked at the stats really and looked at me. But Mark used to do all the stat stuff, and um, it we know it's not good enough. Grinding points out against better teams, that can't be our legacy. We need to go off, leave Goodison with a bang, and this ain't working. So we will hopefully regroup. We'll look new ownership, and I think it's time. I want to be more optimistic about stuff. Maybe I'm a little bit more optimistic because I've gone the match today and not had a pint or 10. Maybe that was a bad decision on reflection. But going to try and, get back doing this, um, get involved with the new ground stuff, try and get around there a little bit more, and see what we can do moving forward. So, if you're watching this, it means I put it out on YouTube, which is a new one for us. If you're listening through the old platforms, thanks for not hitting that unfollow button with all the period of absence that we've had. Let's just say, and then hopefully get back to a regular podcast. I've had some nice words from people over the past few months, and for the amount of shit that we talk, it's been nice, and it's people, local people, and people from all over. So it was always nice seeing those stats and looking at the listeners and listeners in America, Australia, New Zealand. It's hard to believe that people would listen to actively choose to listen to me chat absolute wham. But um, it's nice, humbling. Let's see what we can do. Cheers. Happy New Year.